Hi guys, welcome to Xcom. Welcome back to Xcom Enemy Within. Still kind of in the beginning, so we lost one guy already, but it's expected. You lose a few here and there, no big deal. Especially in a game like this. Some people saw a response as early as 2 weeks. With Austedo XR, Dan can stay on his mental health meds. Cool hair. Austedo XR can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, or have suicidal thoughts. Don't take if you have liver problems, are taking reserpine, tetrabenazine, or valbenazine. Austedo XR may cause irregular or fast heartbeat or abnormal movements. Seek help for fever, stiff muscles, problems thinking, or sweating. Common side effects include inflammation of the nose and throat, insomnia, and sleepiness. Ask your doctor for Austedo XR.
Hello, Ghostbusters. It's done. I've done what we moved. We help people customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Anyway, we got a bit of a situation here. Sure, I can hold. Only pay what you need. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. In theaters now.
We got the house! Pods handles the driving. Pack at your pace, store your things until you're ready, then we deliver to your new home, across town or across the country. Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
With the Freestyle Libre 3 system, know your glucose levels. No finger sticks needed. All with the world's smallest and thinnest sensor. Manage your diabetes with more confidence and lower your A1C. Try it for free at freestylelibre.us.
Hello, I'm former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. A lot of times you can't control the amount of sleep that you're getting. You can't fall asleep or you're tossing and turning all night. You can't get the sleep you need to stay healthy. I know, it's scary unless you use Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep is a product that's made from natural ingredients, and it usually works from the very first night you try. It helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed, earning your body those quality hours of sleep that it desperately needs.
Join the hundreds of thousands of people who've experienced the relief and health benefits from getting a great night's sleep and get Relaxium Sleep.
First time I took Relaxium and I slept through the night, I go, wow, this worked for me. I could not believe it.
Relaxium Sleep is studied, tested, and designed by a neurologist to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed.
Relaxium Sleep worked from the very first night I took it. I had more focus and mental clarity than I've had in years.
Relaxium is drug-free and not addictive, so you can take Relaxium every night and never worry about side effects. And the best part is, it can start working from the very first night.
When I take Relaxium Sleep, I sleep better than I have in years.
I wake up feeling like I've had the best night's sleep.
Stop being afraid and start sleeping your fears away with Relaxium Sleep. Your body and your mind will thank you.
Mike Huckabee is so confident that Relaxium will work for you, he's asked us to give away 1,000 bottles.
If you're not getting calm enough to go to sleep, take Relaxium Sleep. I promise you it'll work.
Get your risk-free bottle of Relaxium Sleep now. It's guaranteed to work or your money back. Visit tryrelaxium.com or call 800-898-9322. That's tryrelaxium.com or call 800-898-9322.
Rescuers racing to save dozens still trapped under rubble after Taiwan's strongest earthquake in 25 years leaves 9 dead and hundreds more injured. Greg Calcott has the very latest for us at this hour.
Good, we got one.
Hey, Sandra. Yeah, emergency efforts are going on through the night after that very strong earthquake in Taiwan. It hit just off the eastern coast of the island, a popular tourist area. The damage dangerous and widely felt. Buildings in the main city there, hit by the tremor, collapsing or perching at precarious angles. It happened Wednesday morning local time, catching a lot of people out, along with the dead and injured. Many remain missing under the rubble in collapsed road tunnels and mines, at resorts hit by landslides. Strong shaking was felt across the island, and even in neighboring China, some 100 aftershocks rattled the region. A tsunami warning was issued for Japan and the Philippines that was later withdrawn. The U.S. has offered assistance. Some of Taiwan's fighter jets were damaged. No sign that Beijing was taking advantage of the disaster. Some electricity was knocked out. One nuclear plant operating on the island was not affected. But Sandra also affected Taiwan's crucial semiconductor industry. Factories operating with finely tuned precision needed to be shut down. The bottom line affected. Back to you.
Palcott with the very latest on that for us. Greg, thank you. Now to those severe storms here at home, including a powerful nor'easter slamming millions along the East Coast and wreaking havoc for travelers. More than 5,000 flights have been delayed or canceled so far today. Fox News' chief meteorologist, Rick Reichmuth, is tracking all of it for us from the Fox Weather Center. What can you tell us, Rick?
Sandra, what a storm. We've had snow, we've had severe weather, lots of tornadoes. The tornado trip yesterday didn't materialize in as bad of a fashion as we thought it could have been, which is good news that forecast didn't verify. But a lot of wind damage and certainly some tornadoes, all part of this sprawling storm. You see the snow on the backside of this across much of Wisconsin, towards parts of Illinois, and then we've got the rain from Florida all the way up through much of Maine. These are our 300 reports of severe weather that we've had since Monday from this, all those reds where we've had the tornadoes really spread out over a big area. But look at these wind reports. 102 mile an hour wind in Cannonsburg, Kentucky. That causes a lot of damage. Now, today we're looking at severe weather threat across parts of Florida and then again in towards the mid-Atlantic. You see this line of storms? This is the front moving through, and it's going to take some time for this to get through. We've had a few severe thunderstorm watches in effect right now, warnings, but a tornado possible with this one. It was tornado warned just about 5 minutes ago. Same goes down here towards the south, so be very careful across parts of the mid-Atlantic. This tornado watch goes in effect until 7 p.m. tonight, down towards Florida, also until 5 o'clock. Still
that's excellent. Okay.
There's a snowy side of this, La Crosse, Wisconsin, 14 inches of snow from this. And the Northeast, which has not had much snow at all, is going to have one of its biggest snowstorms by the time we get towards Friday. Some spots may be up to 2 feet of snow. It's going to be northern parts of New England and interior sections as well. The cities, the big cities, at least from Philly, D.C., Boston, all the way towards Boston, is going to be mostly rainy, but a lot of this rain is really significant, really heavy, and it's causing some big delays across some of those airports. Watch how this plays out. There's the first storm. A bit of a nor'easter develops here, and this becomes all snow by the time we get towards tomorrow morning. Much of New England getting the snow eventually. Maybe a few flakes making its way towards the cities, but not any accumulating snow. It's hard to believe that here we are in April. We didn't have much of a winter at all, and now we've got this massive winter storm that is barreling through. It's a slow mover also. This is Saturday, 6 a.m., so we've got about 3 days before this storm is fully out of here.
Mother Nature did not get the memo. We have switched seasons. All right. Rick Reichmuth on that for us. We'll keep watching all of it. Thank you. While Northeast storms are keeping travelers home this week, total eclipse is set to spark a tourism.
Okay, now I can start building shit.
Then we prove that California minimum wage mandate is fueling sky-high prices.
Genetics. Power generators.
They have you surrounded. You're just going to stand there, or are you going to take your load back?
We're gonna take it back.
It's Scott's Turf Builder. Triple action. It gets 3 jobs done at once.
These are the max, right? Let's begin on the max.
Glorious.
Get a bag of Scott's Triple Action today. It's guaranteed.
Steam is where we put the power labs.
If you have Graves' disease and blurry vision, you need clear answers. People with Graves could also get thyroid eye disease, or TED, which may need a different doctor. Find a TED eye specialist at visitted.com.
New from Realtor.com. RealView maps now feature precise heat, wind, and air quality ratings on every home listing. Trust the #1 app real estate professionals trust. Download the Realtor.com app today.
When these business owners need cash fast, they turn to Biz2Credit to fund what's next. From fitness studios to medical offices and every small business in between, we've got you covered. Whether you need new equipment, funds to expand, or need money to cover unforeseen business expenses, Biz2Credit is the trusted partner for your small business funding needs. Scan the code on your screen now or go to biz2credit.com to apply. Biz2 Credit, funding what's next.
Our current satellite uplink facilities.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years. When I have customers come in and ask for something for memory, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works, and I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really worked so good for me. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
Biden continues to struggle in the polls as the nation is grappling with one crisis after another, but don't expect him to work any harder. Full coverage tonight on Hannity.
There's a lot of loneliness. Reading story program allows you to work
It's a sign of the power.
Interaction with our therapy dogs that make a very big difference with day-to-day mental health. Thank you for your support of the United Way. It allows our therapy dog program to visit seniors and youth in need.
I'm gonna award the medal.
Sarah, you got this. Okay?
Give it to the Canadian.
They lost.
First of all, you're on Air Force One. It's the president.
We've assembled everything we need to capture and house an alien for interrogation, Commander. The rest is up to our forces on the ground.
I still can't believe Dr. Valen expects our troops to try to bring one of those things back here in one piece, much less alive. Several members of the
Fox News
council
alert as we are getting some news out of New York where former President Donald Trump has lost his bid to delay his hush money trial until the Supreme Court reviews the presidential immunity
50.
arguments in the election interference case. These are according to brand new court records. We're digging through them right now. But pertaining to this criminal hush money case involving DA Bragg, the judges denied the presidential immunity motion filed by former President Donald Trump. The judge denied that, calling it untimely. So we're reading through this now. We're going to continue to update you with any news that we learn from this, but that is the news for now. All right, meanwhile, everybody's getting their glasses ready.
Reaper rounds, flashbang,
this Monday,
Phoenix
when the
cannon.
pass between the sun
Excellent.
and the earth, completely blocking the sun.
Yeah, these are good, I think.
Fox Weather's Steve Bender on where you might best catch a glimpse of this happening. Everyone's talking about it.
That's right, Sandra. We got the path of totality. That's what you were looking at as well. That stripe across the country. Look at all the big cities nestled into there. Indianapolis, Dallas, Little Rock up towards Cleveland. Here's the time frame when those cities will experience that path of totality. But it all hinges on where there will be cloud cover. And sadly, for many of these locations down south,
flashbangs are good.
Forecast coming in right now as a cloudy potential. Then you start to move up into the Ohio Valley region and up into the Northeast. A better opportunity of a lack of cloud cover. Looking into Dallas and San Antonio, overcast conditions, and then a new concern coming out as we get into Monday now. A likely severe threat for Dallas and Fort Worth. Here's the path of totality. There's the likely threat. And there's a potential for this to evolve in the coming days leading up to the total eclipse. That could expand or it could shift. And so many that have booked these trips months or years in advance to chase this opportunity may need to make some last-minute adjustments as you start to move north. Paducah, Kentucky, up towards Indianapolis, a better opportunity of visibility, and then up towards the northeast, you have Buffalo, Syracuse, and Burlington with few clouds as well. Not only is this a big opportunity for many, but this is big business. Spots like Little Rock and even up towards Buffalo seeing a surge of people that are coming in. We're talking 600 to 400% increase in visitors in total, Sandra. When we look at the economic value of this, the local economies are anticipated to benefit $1.2 billion out of this one event. And you don't have to spend a dime if you can't get there. We have you covered on Fox Weather. These are the teams that are out, and they are everywhere as this evolves through the day. And so we encourage you on April 8th, as you had mentioned, Sandra, on Monday, if you want to see the total eclipse and you can't see it for yourself, we will have that live coverage here on Fox Weather.
I love that map and all the people we are going to have along the way. That is awesome. And a great build-up. Get your glasses ready. Steve Bender, thank you. Very exciting. And don't forget, Fox Weather is your destination for the latest weather news and forecasts. Stream it on your favorite connected device. Always on, always free. I love mine.
Now we're rolling.
This eclipse could bring a tourism boom, as Steve just said, of $1.5 billion to states in its path. To travel expert Lee Abamonte now on this phenomenon. Lee, I personally know someone who has planned a trip for years to go see this, like over state borders.
Yeah, it's you kind of always at the mercy of Mother Nature, right? And you might have to make a little slight change of plans if you're going to go to Dallas. Maybe you want to shoot up to Rochester or something like that, and hope for the best up there. You can't control the weather, and I realize people have been making plans since the last eclipse, like 7 years ago. So it's going to be interesting, but you never know what could happen between now and Monday.
Okay, so people are going to pack their bags. They're going to find the best way to view this. But you mentioned weather, and that can be a problem. But it is fascinating to me that this is going to create a tourism boom. It just tells me people are just hungry for adventure. You know, they want to see stuff with their own eyes. Yeah. It's fun, right?
People like stuff. They like being a part of things. I mean, I do it too. I've traveled all over the world to be a part of events and things like that. So, and this is like a phenomenon that really doesn't happen. It's not quite Halley's Comet, but it's pretty uncommon, right? So people are going to travel and they're going to spend money. They're going to stay in hotels. They're going to rent cars. They're going to buy stuff, eat, and it's a big economic boom for all of the major cities there in the path of totality, and a lot of little places too. Places like Bloomington, Indiana. They're doing a big event in their football stadium. I think William Shatner is actually going to be there. And, you know, hotels and airlines are actually getting in and out too. The Omni PJ Frisco partnered with Southwest Airlines, and they're doing a solar eclipse event for a fly and stay kind of thing. So people are really taking advantage of this, both businesses and individuals. So it's really a win-win for everybody.
Launch this, baby.
We covered this in 2017, obviously. August 2017 was the last time. And there's this huge buildup, almost like it's like a space rocket launch. But then there's no rocket launch. So you always say, okay, it's happening. It's happening. But it is very exciting, and it's great to be a part of it, and we're all looking forward to it. And fun that people are going to travel to see it. It's great to see you. Thank you very much.
You too. Thanks for having me, as always.
All right. Thank you, Lee. We're going to have more after this.
Well done, Viv. You got the presents, the balloons, and the raptor cake. Now how about something to put a smile on your face? Aspen Dental provides complete, affordable care with dentists and labs in one place. Plus, free exams and x-rays for new patients without insurance. And 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Quality care at a price worth celebrating. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
This tiny home trend, not for me. Now this is more like it. The same goes for my footwear. So I went hands-free with wide fit Skechers slip-ins. Just step in and go without bending down or touching my shoes. Wide fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
Our pharmacy has been in business for nearly 100 years. My wife and I have run it for the last 30. American technology is making us more efficient and customer-friendly. We use online tools to fill prescriptions, process insurance claims, and make deliveries. But some in Washington want to undermine the technology tools we rely on. Their misguided agenda will empower our foreign adversaries and hurt small businesses like ours. Our leaders need to strengthen, not weaken, American technology.
It's only a matter of time until your check engine light comes on, or worse yet, your car needs repair. That could mean a big surprise auto repair bill. Those repairs are more expensive than ever. A new engine can be over $5,000. A new transmission over $4,000. That's why it's so important you call CarShield today. CarShield is the #1 auto protection company in the country.
I like CarShield because they were reliable, they were affordable, and they were trustworthy.
I think everybody should have CarShield. Once your manufacturer's warranty is expired, it's just no big deal. If you needed repairs, CarShield was there for us.
Now it's your turn to get the peace of mind that comes with having CarShield, so you can worry less about auto repairs. Call or go online right now to get CarShield for yourself. Friendly, knowledgeable, money-saving representatives are available 24 hours a day. So if your car is 20 years old or newer, just tell us the make and model of your car or truck to get an instant plan quote. In a matter of minutes, you can be covered.
I was elated that I had CarShield. I was more than happy.
There's no fun when you have a car that's broken and you can't pay for it to get it fixed.
Here's how CarShield works. When your car needs repair, you take it to your favorite mechanic or even your dealer, and CarShield gets them paid directly. That's why CarShield is America's #1 auto protection provider.
CarShield is just the best thing to take away the fear that something is going to go wrong with your car, because it will. And CarShield is going to be there to back you up.
My experience with CarShield is that they absolutely come through every time I need it.
If my car breaks down, I can count on CarShield to cover it for me. CarShield definitely has my back.
Now it's the time to make the smart choice and protect yourself from sky-high auto repair bills. Call now for a free and instant protection plan quote. It's only a matter of time until repairs are needed, and once your car breaks down, it's too late. Call 1-800-908-6039.
Get you in there. Get one of them.
Get covered today.
This chaos on the border now seems to have become chaos in the courtrooms. Police say it could have been prevented. And around the globe.
We are learning more about that rare daytime strike in Damascus, Syria.
Only on Fox News Channel.
A 25% mandated wage increase overnight targeting a single subsector of one private industry has never, ever been done before. Instead of lamenting bad legislation, I need to look forward. Obviously, price has to be a consideration, but I can't charge $25 for a quarter pounder with cheese. So I've got to look at every option for business survivability.
Business owner is not alone. California fast food joints raising their menu prices in the wake of this $20 minimum wage mandate, as they said they would have to do. And the New York Post has the pictures to prove it. Joining us now is the New York Post national editor, Andy Tillett. Thank you so much, Andy. This is incredible. Like, does anybody look back at history and go, this doesn't work? I mean, every business owner said, if you do this to us, we'll probably have to lay off workers, right? And we'll probably have to raise prices to the consumer.
Yes, indeed, Sandra. Well, we found out on the very first day of this $20 minimum wage going into effect, prices rose. So at Burger King, one burger was $1.80 more than it had been 2 days previously. And a fish sandwich had gone up by $4 already. So that's on the first day of this wage going into effect. If you want to think about how in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months, as the cost of having more workers, having more wages for workers really starts to kick in, those prices could go higher. And I don't think ordinary Americans won't be paying $12, $13, $15 just for a burger and fries.
These are substantial price increases. And then what happens is this happens, and then you have an administration, the president himself will step out and say that this is price gouging. I mean, what did they expect would happen? I mean, don't you look back and say, okay, the market's always going to determine? I mean, I interviewed someone this week out in California. First of all, she said she spent months figuring out if this law applies to her, right? That's a lot of time, a lot of money away from improving your business and managing your employees. Who basically said that her employees were able to basically make this anyway, in tips and otherwise. But now this mandate changes the game. She won't be able to hire as many of those like college-age younger workers. She's gonna have to slim down her workforce. She's already raising prices. And time and time again, this is what we see.
Sure. The most obvious effect to me seems to be that with $20 minimum wage, there's going to be the fast food companies, which spend multi-millions of dollars on research and development, are going to pivot towards AI. The first fully automated McDonald's in the country was opened in Fort Worth in December 2022. I'm pretty sure that the next place they'll be looking to roll that out will be California, based on this particular thing. And, the people that this affects are the normal working people, the hard-working people who go to jobs and then want to get a burger after work.
it's not the kale smoothie drinking Hollywood elite who are going to be affected by this.
Shit.
The first knock-on effect is that, as studies or research showed, was that the prices go up and it's passed straight on to the consumer.
That franchise owner that we just played the sound of there a minute ago, McDonald's franchise, such a good point there. He said, I can't waste or spend my time lamenting bad policies. I have to look forward. And boy, do so many business owners understand that.
Sure. I'm sure, and it's the first time that California has singled out one particular industry, the fast food industry, and said this wage will apply to workers in that area and not to everyone else. It doesn't seem to make sense that they would want to, single things out in that way on one particular.
You're starting to wonder when you walk into a fast food restaurant if $20 is going to cover your meal. I mean, that's happening.
Yeah, and I'm sure most people don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, it is unbelievable. It's very common now on social media to see people taking pictures of their fast food receipts and posting them because they're in sticker shock.
We've done numerous stories about how the prices at McDonald's or Burger King at various fast food locations.
Incredible. It was great to see you. Great to chat with you. And good stuff in the New York Post. Thanks for joining us. Neil will be back tomorrow. And you can catch me tomorrow alongside John Roberts, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on America Reports. For now, here is The 5.
Hello, everyone. I'm Judge Janine Pirro, along with Jessica Tarloff, Jesse Waters, Dana Perino, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is The 5. The Biden administration is now openly mocking Americans who aren't buying into their electric car scam. Joe Biden's fantasy of replacing your gas guzzler with an EV is short-circuiting. Sales are nowhere near what the administration promised, and most people don't have the green to go green. But America's hard hat wearing transportation secretary is keeping the faith. Pete Buttigieg is dismissing anyone not on board with the EV revolution as some kind of tech Neanderthal.
Let's be clear that the automotive sector is moving toward EVs, and we can't pretend otherwise. Sometimes when these debates happen, I feel like it's the early 2000s, and I'm talking to some people who think that we can just have landline phones forever. The reality is that the automotive sector is moving toward EVs, and the U.S. can either fall behind China, or we can claim the lead. President Biden wants to make sure that those EVs are made in America.
Buttigieg going on to brag about his at-home charger, which is a luxury that he is afforded, but not for the rest of us. Joe Biden has spent $7 billion of your tax money and has produced only 7 stations in 2 years.
There are more ways to move electricity than there are to move than there are to move liquid fuel. That's why in my house in Michigan, I can fill our hybrid plug-in electric with electricity. Obviously, I can't do that with gas at my house.
Truckers are bashing Biden's EV push in their industry, saying electric big rigs are a pipe dream. Watch this.
There was a company in Julian, Illinois who was going to put a terminal in for 30 trucks. The city said you can't do it. You're going to use more electricity than the entire city of Julian, Illinois.
More trucks will have to have a longer than usual warranty. They're going to add that into the pricing of the trucks. Which for smaller trucking companies, they're not going to be able to afford it, and so they're just going to have to extend the life of their old trucks and become less efficient, and ends up creating more pollution.
All right, Jesse, it seems the administration is in a big rush for this when the infrastructure is not only not ready for the charging stations, but it appears that our electric grid, as balkanized and as old as it is, isn't going to be able to sustain these electric chargers.
No, it's not. My dad sent me one of those funny old man videos from the internet that's like, what's the difference between a liberal and a conservative? And it starts out, well, the conservative doesn't like to eat meat. He's a vegan, that's fine. The liberal doesn't like to eat meat. He tries to ban meat everywhere. See, liberal doesn't like a talk show. Conservative just changed the channel. The liberal banned the talk show. Republican doesn't have health care, maybe he's down on his luck, they see what they can do to improve their life. The liberal, give me stuff, free health care, welfare.
What the fuck is it?
It's about personal responsibility. We live our own life.
Back here.
We make our own decisions. We're accountable. And the liberals just want to get
Can't move
everybody
you
in
out
society
yet.
involved in their business. And I've had it. Just because something is new, Jessica, doesn't make it better. I know a man who only drinks liquids that have been around for 1,000 years. Only drinks tea, wine, and water. Should he drink a Gatorade because it's new? Because it has electrolytes, Jessica? Of course not. Something that is new doesn't mean it's progress. Things that have been around for thousands of years are actually pretty good. Look at the architecture. You see around these great buildings, some of them look like they were just put up a couple years ago, and they look like vomit. How about fashion? You ever see men's fashion these days? It's ridiculous. Go back to 1820 in Great Britain, everyone looked like a stud. Do you think it's better to read a book, or do you think it's better to stare at the stupid screen all day? It's better to read a book. Did you know this, Jessica? That an electric car is twice as heavy as a regular car? So we're going to double the weight on all the parking garages, the roads and bridges. You think last bridge that collapsed is going to be a one-time thing? Everything's going to collapse.
Yeah, a Tesla is the same as a shipping container.
You're doubling the size and the weight of everything that's on the road. What do you think's going to happen to the road? Mayor Pete couldn't even fix the pothole. There's going to be thousands of potholes all over the country. This is what we have to face.
Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
Would you like to respond, Jessica?
It was such a rich diatribe. There's so much in there. I would be fine if most men dressed like upper class Brits from the 1820s, but there were a lot of people not looking so hot in 1820 as well. So it's fashion. What else? The infrastructure. Well, we know the Biden administration cares about that. What else did you have thrown in there? Oh, the person who only drinks wine, tea, and would never touch a Gatorade.
My point is that
I know what your point was.
progress doesn't necessarily mean
Well,
a new thing is better.
no, sometimes there are things that are invented that are terrible, but there are other things that are amazing, and we should have a conversation about how you consume things, because you say you're happy to give this up, so you just sit there with your big book, but I don't think that that's really
Did you say
true.
give it up?
But you said it was better. Anywho, this is one of those issues where the administration does have a good answer that they could go towards, which is hybrids, and everyone agrees about that. So Mayor Pete is Secretary Pete. I'm sorry, Mayor Pete is just on my computer. They know that the car companies, because all the CEOs have come out and said we're not going to be able to make these targets. It is our aspirations to be able to cut down on emissions, but the infrastructure doesn't work for this, and we don't have the appetite, and they're too expensive for people. And most people who are driving electric vehicles are driving Teslas, and we know that Teslas are very expensive comparatively. So the hybrid route seems like the right way forward, and I think that's what they should be emphasizing, and the CEOs of these companies would also be happy.
You know, what's interesting, Greg, is that the EVs are slowing down in terms of people's appetite to have them. Even Tesla.
Holy shit, right in the middle of the smoke, too.
In terms of purchases. So what is Buttigieg talking about when he says we don't want to fall behind China? Aren't we buying all the batteries from China to begin with?
Yeah, I just have to say, I just know Jesse too well now. You sat down and you're going, I can't believe we have to talk about this. And so you just decided to completely derail the entire segment with 2.5 minutes of magical nonsense.
Magical. Wait, emphasis on the magical.
And that's magical. Yeah. I think that here's the problem here, but Buttigieg should concentrate on more urgent issues that we are facing in the world of transportation. We have bridges collapsing, ships crashing into bridges, trains derailing, planes losing doors, people sleeping at airports. This shows you, when you listen to him, that sooner or later, luxury beliefs will drain you of the energy that's necessary to actually deal with substantial problems in the present day reality. You know, remember, while all these things are going wrong, this guy was preoccupied with how racist the roads were in the past. And there's something else in his comparison to landlines. No one advocated for bans for landlines like they're doing with gas cars. We didn't demonize people for having landlines. We didn't say you have blood on your hands, Grandma, for still using your landline. And we didn't push our argument based on faulty science and faulty statistics that are all coming apart now. Landliners weren't pressured or vandalized, had their places vandalized as a means to encourage them to change. Gas-powered vehicles, unlike landlines, provide the foundation for the running of this country. Your food, your housing, your work relies on consistent energy. And as much as we like wind and solar, it's not consistent. And with electric, it's great, but it's an alternative. It's an option. It's not a replacement. And finally, to point out the obvious, when he was talking about his electric car at home, he still has to plug it in, like a landline. You don't have to plug in a gas car. And this has always been my issue as somebody that suffers from CAS, which is charge anxiety syndrome. You know, you're charging plugs and you're worried about your batteries of your laptops, your phones, your earpods, your speakers. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Have to do 2 or 3 hours driving without stopping. I can't. So you're going to add to the RTPA this charge anxiety. I don't think I'll ever leave the house.
It's almost hard to get through the show.
Oh my God.
I was going to say, that is anxiety-filled hour of my day. I can't leave.
You know, Juliet, Illinois would not allow for the building of a terminal with charging stations for these, I guess, 18-wheelers. They said it would overburden the electric grid.
Absolutely, and also for the truckers, this is really important. If you think their products are expensive now, wait till the truckers cannot deliver goods except for they have to charge for 2 hours. Then they can only go 70 miles. And then they got to charge again, whereas today they fill up once, they do all their deliveries for a day, then they fill up again. And so that the truckers have a very good point, and that goes right back to your pocketbook. We buried the lead on something Jesse said. His dad sent him the old man video. Maybe the dad is learning a little bit. I'm always surprised when it's like the Biden administration believes, and maybe they believe this is true, that Secretary Buttigieg is their sharpest communicator. But every time he talks, I'm like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Because as you were saying, the government wasn't trying to give people money in order to get them to leave landlines or buy cell phones. People did that because it was convenient. Right? Right. So it was convenient. And also, families did a cost-benefit analysis. They said, it is worth it for me to have this phone because it's convenient or I'll feel safer with it. The other thing is the messaging progression on electric vehicles has been very fascinating. It began with, you can save money on gas, and that's why you should get an electric vehicle. Remember, this is at the beginning of the Biden administration. And then it turned to,
Mr. Bush.
we will literally pay you to buy these electric vehicles. Here's all these subsidies. And now it's, if you don't buy these vehicles, you're a flat earth rube. And
Give me 5 minutes, then we'll go.
That was a good one. Thank you. I really worked on that all day, and I had nothing until that moment.
Okay. Coming up, Dr. Jill is giving the Biden campaign a checkup after some scary polls.
Here's to better days.
Cheers to these two every Thursday.
Help fuel today with Boost High Protein. Complete nutrition you need without the stuff you don't. So, here's to now. Boost!
You want to close out?
Should I? Only I'd hold, but taking the game's a smart here. Okay?
Feel more confident with stock ratings from JP Morgan analysts in the Chase app. When you've got a decision to make, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Vinyl windows seem to be a typical choice here in the local area. Some companies even advertise high-quality vinyl. Ann Romer here. Before you invest in vinyl windows, listen to what Michael Smith of Renewable by Anderson has to say.
With our temperature swings, vinyl tends to warp, which causes condensation between the panes and draft. And most vinyl windows just look very low end to begin with. Our customers don't want that.
And what are Renewable by Anderson's windows made of?
Our windows are made out of a thermopolymer composite material called Firaxis. It's beautiful like wood, but it doesn't require the maintenance of wood. And we engineered it to be 2 times stronger than vinyl. So you're getting a window that will really last.
Now this is innovation. You have a feature on your windows that allows for a better view.
Our TrueScene screens are made out of an ultra-fine stainless steel mesh, which is virtually invisible. You get less dirt buildup, more fresh air circulation, and a better view out of your window.
Now, if we're talking about comfort, how much does the glass matter?
The glass in the window makes a huge difference. Our high-performance, low E4 smart sunglass is infused with silver oxide. It's engineered to help keep the cold air outside in the winter and keep the warm air outside in the summer. It also blocks 95% of the harmful UV rays that fade your furniture and your hardwood floors.
Well, that's impressive, Michael. Thank you. And right now, Renewal by Anderson has a great offer for homeowners.
Before April 30th, buy one window, patio door, or entry door, and get the next one 40% off. That's 40% off, with a minimum of 4 units. Plus, save an extra $30 on every window and door you buy, with no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 1 year. This offer ends April 30th. For a free appointment with Renewal by Anderson, call 1-800-704-4200. That's 1-800-704-4200.
Biden continues to struggle in the polls as the nation is grappling with one crisis after another. But don't expect him to work any harder. Full coverage tonight on Hannity.
Family came to Canada because the situation he wasn't the safest. I had to put it in. And learning language was very hard. Therefore, making friends wasn't easy. The program helped me a lot because I met other kids who were going through the same process. So I was able to relate and find somewhere where I could fit in. Thanks to the support of United Way, I'm able to achieve my dreams as a doctor.
They hate each other. Who'd you rather be?
I know that you.
But they're going to meet each other.
Both our exes are here. Let's just pretend we're together.
Picking pills is not gonna work. We're on 7th grade.
We're only 7th grade when it comes to this stuff. Showtime. Are they doing Titanic?
Their God shows over.
Oh my god.
Super sweet.
Do you have a mom or something like that? We're in the way. Spiders on ground.
Dr. Jill forced to do a house call after a hubby caught a bad case of polonitis. Donald Trump blowing up Biden's blue wall, steamrolling the president in 6 of the 7
Good boy.
battleground states. He needs to reclaim the White House. Trump also obliterating Biden on who has the mental and physical fitness needed to be president. 28% think Trump is stellar on poll. Only 28% say the same about Biden. But Joe's full-time caretaker seems to be in denial on the polling prognosis.
But when these polls, like the Wall Street Journal one, land in the White House and he's losing in all the battleground states.
No, he's not losing in all the battleground states. He's coming up and he's even or doing better. So, you know what? Once people start to focus in and they see their 2 choices, it's obvious that Joe will win this election.
It's like the -5.
Good time to save it. We'll continue next time, alright, guys? That sounds good.
But instead of Dr. Jill, the poor souls had to settle for this dude instead.
In the end, voters are going to vote in their own best interest. They always do. And it's why I've always been more optimistic than the polls, because voters think their own lives, their own economy, their own state economies are better.